U.S. intelligence agency, mind control.
One second.
Okay.
Also a universe.
We're gonna come back to that. I need to do this. Okay. What are you getting? Are you sending me instead of screen sharing again?
No, I'm screen sharing it. I will. I just have to sit through an ad real quick. It's totally short enough.
Hi,
that
everybody.
Nothing bad will happen.
Hey, Fry, think fast! Get it? It's chlorine!
It's funny because it's poisonous.
University lecturer.
I am.
And am I right in thinking that you've written a PhD on breakdancing?
I have, yes.
Yeah. So Jack actually
At this
was
point, even my question.
Jackie here. He was put on silence because there was potential that we were able to get her, but I think she's extended her holiday because she doesn't want to go back and be hit with all the media drama that's waiting for her in Australia.
Yeah,
Right.
I think so. Yeah.
So
there's still potential. It just depends if she goes back to teaching or not. If she goes back to teaching, I'll be able to get in contact with her, but we'll see.
Have questions. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And as per usual, before we launch in, today's video is sponsored by Fume, our officially 3 limited edition.
No, hang on. Can we talk about this product real quick?
Okay, go on.
Have you seen what this is, Fume?
Box.
You know
I'm
what this
so
product
excited
is?
now for
Yes, it's like a flavored air.
Yeah. So it's literally like, hey, let's capitalize off people's addiction
Yes, yeah.
and
Yeah,
market
it's
ourselves
literally-
like we're
yeah.
like good.
But
So-
it's literally not advocating to stop smoking. It's like, just use this. This can
Yeah.
be your addict thing.
Well, they don't. Then you'll notice in the ads they even say it's good, a good fidget toy.
Yes,
You
they
know,
do. It's got
My
fidget stuff on it.
favorite, it's like Dollar Shave Club. They advertise their razor as having a weighty handle. Okay, I don't give a fuck. Like they'd have to try everything in the marketing term. You know, they say that it's got weight to it, so you can spin it around and fidget. Like this is a fucking dumb product. Okay, it's a dumb product. I've never until I fucking see people pulling it out on podcasts and not promoting it. Get out of my fucking face.
True. Yes, true.
Like they
those
have
of
to
you who-
advertise on all media just to try and
Mhm.
market themselves as a not smoking product, so smokers will buy it
yes.
and then not use it immediately after. Because there's a new smoker every day, Jack.
Mhm.
What a great
Every day.
market! What a great market to predate on.
who are new here, and for those of you who might have forgotten, because since I moved to America, my accent has died.
So, I really want to talk about something that's kind of been irritating me lately.
I'm actually Australian,
That
born
was
and bred,
English?
pure-blooded from the land down under, as people say. I'm
The
sure people
land
say.
down
So
under,
when my
you say.
countrymen do things that I find embarrassing and dumb, I feel shame on a level that I can't quite articulate.
I'm pretty sure she's half American, so calling yourself full-blooded Aussie is kind of wrong.
She like
Just
this.
saying.
Hi there, mate. My name is Brandon, and I'm from the land down under.
Conversely, Steve Irwin.
I'll get bitten occasionally, every now and again, but it's never the animal's fault. It's always my fault.
The recent Paris Olympic
That's why
Games
you
were
died.
a poop show for all sorts of reasons, fighting over the chromosomes of boxes, the medals themselves being terrible quality, no air conditioning in the Parisian heat. I hate it here. Gunn went viral for her breaking performance where she hopped around like a kangaroo. Like, I think that's what this is. I actually watched a video this morning where someone had put together a side-by-side comparison of Raygun and the Paralympics breaking team, and I think it speaks for itself. When men missing legs do better than you at a dance that requires having legs, you know you're in for a bad time. As expected, because the internet is mean and unkind, Gunn's performance was mocked aggressively. Even Jimmy Kimmel made fun of it on his show. But the thing that has got people
Sydney
very
Watson
confused
just
about this whole
whined, the internet is mean and unkind.
Yes, she
Come
did.
on, you're gonna have to sit in the dunce chair.
situation is how Gunn made it to the Olympics in the first place.
Yes,
Some have suggested
I love that it's about this. Okay, I want to preface this with nothing that anybody has produced has any evidence to back up anything that they are saying. I just want to
Yeah.
reinforce
So,
this.
so what you're telling me is that we're Team Raygun.
Yes, she's a fucking icon. And if it does turn out that she did it on purpose and she crashed the Olympics just to shit on the I want to say, because she seems very commie, right? And if this is the reason she did it, and she's like tanked the breakdancing at the elections in protest of the centralization of a thing that's begun in the streets among minorities, I think that's hysterical. I think that's fucking hysterical. And I'm so here for it. And I really hope that that's actually what's happened, and it was a protest to the centralization and the adoption of like a central council to determine what is breakdancing, because realistically breakdancing is anything, right? Everyone's like, oh, breakdancing is spinning on your head and doing fancy twirls. Breakdancing is anything you fucking want.
We're not saying that it doesn't work. We're saying that they say that they're going to do it and then not do it.
Yes.
And was a judge on the panel for her qualifying dance battle. Others have said that she created her own committee and put herself through to the
Also
Olympics,
not
both
true.
of which are not true, just
Thank
by
you.
the way. But having now watched a bunch of Gunn's past interviews and past performances and looked into the path that led her to the Olympics, I think this situation is actually a bigger poopy show than any of us realized. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Editing mistake.
She said poopy show.
Did you see that editing mistake?
Just because it's a jump cut where she's in a different position.
I think this situation is actually a bigger poopy show
Hold on.
than any of us.
She's drunk now.
realized.
Hold
Ah, blank
see?
framed.
Aha!
Blank
I caught that one.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. The weird backstory, the odd history that led this woman to the 2024 Olympic Games and made us all have a really, really weird time. But you know what isn't?
Amateur YouTuber, and I really hope that she's actually done research here because she is a trained journalist.
A weird time stopping your bad habit, which is why today's video is sponsored by Fume.
Didn't we do this already?
Mid-August 2024, Rachel Gunn posted a video to Instagram responding to the torrent of memes, jokes, and blowback she received following her performance at the Olympic Games. She said that she was happy her dance had brought so much joy to so many people, but she didn't realize it would open the door to so much hate, which has been devastating for her. Lady, you did.
Come on, you had to know. You had to know. Surely you had to know going out and dropping the sprinkler was gonna get you criticism. Like, this is
She's
what I'm saying.
inspired by her surroundings.
This is what I'm saying. I can't believe.
Have you seen Moist Critical do her dance?
No, I haven't, but I've wanted to, and I think I wanted to put it on the list as well. Now, I can't believe in my mind that somebody who has spent 13 years studying youth culture and social sciences, specializing specifically in this, then going and learning breakdancing and doing it for 10 years, goes into the Olympics and does a routine like this, unless she's literally just having fun, sabotaging it on purpose, or she's taken the rules literally and inspired her dance around Australia. Sprinkler, kangaroos, all the shit that she was doing, right? It's picture perfect. And on top of that, I found out you didn't need to actually wear the tracksuit. So she voluntarily chose to wear the green and gold tracksuit while doing this, which also kind of makes me think and reinforces my theory that it was a fuck you, specifically wearing the Australian colours while doing it, which just makes me, if true, love it even more. I don't know.
This in front of not only the entire internet, but the entire world.
Hilarious.
What do you expect? You cannot tell me that she didn't see this coming.
Well, I went out there and I had fun. I did take it very seriously. I worked my butt off preparing for the Olympics and I gave my all, truly.
This video followed on from a change.org petition, which has since been removed, where almost 50,000 people called for Gunn to be held accountable for her unethical conduct associated.
Change.org petitions mean nothing. Literally anybody can sign this.
What a great
Meaningless.
grip, right?
Meaningless.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, God, the person who made this,
Fucking unbelievable.
they must have known, right? Like,
Surely.
they weren't like altruistic in their approach to making this, right?
No, there's no way.
Associated with her Olympic selection. The petition claimed that Gunn set up her own governing body, that she denied funding to other breaking groups, and her husband was part of the selection process. Unsurprisingly, the CEO of the Australian Olympic Committee, Matt Carroll, asked that Change.org take down the petition. In a statement, he said, "It is disgraceful that these falsehoods concocted by an anonymous person can be published in this way. It amounts to bullying and harassment and is defamatory. We are demanding that it be removed from the site immediately."
The statement that she set up her own governing body is absolutely just ridiculous.
Don't get me wrong, it's like fair enough asking for a petition to be deleted from this website that's full of genuinely incorrect information. But my eyeballs were both bullied and harassed having to watch this in the first place. I also demand it be removed, but from my memory. The question here becomes, how does one lobotomize themselves? This also wasn't the first time the Australian Olympic Committee, known as the AOC, not to be confused with the AOC, had stepped in to defend Gunn. When the initial blow-up was occurring, another notable figure in the AOC, Anna Mears, you guys know I struggle with names, defended Gunn in an interview.
And Raygun is an absolutely loved member of this Olympic team. She has represented the Olympic team.
I bet she fucking is. She's an icon.
Enthusiasm.
She's a fucking icon. I bet you she's a joy to be around. I bet you she's one of the kindest people ever. I don't know. That's just the vibe I get from her. She's just... I think that she's a fucking icon, and I think that everybody defending her is fantastic.
I just love that this had to be turned into a controversy for people.
Hilarious. Like, there's nothing offensive about it. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? She went out and did something memorable, and everybody is going to forget that breakdancing was in the Olympics, except for her.
Nobody knows what country won that comp.
Yeah, exactly. Who won? You don't know because Australia won. That's fucking lie. Australia won this competition.
Anything?
Oh, sorry. It keeps fucking... No, it keeps playing another video.
And I absolutely love her courage. I love her character. And I feel very disappointed for her that she has come under the attack that she has. Yes, Rachel didn't get a point yesterday, but she was there doing her best. It takes great courage to walk out into any sporting environment.
Also, I just want to... I'm gonna let it cook.
And try. Have a go. That's what we're encouraging our kids.
Now listen, I don't actually have a single problem with sporting bodies and sporting officials defending their athletes when they come under fire. I actually think that's how it should be across the board, especially if the criticism being directed towards an athlete is unfair or untrue or undeserved. You back your people. I think collectively we should be doing a lot more of that. But honestly, if we're going to be placing blame anywhere, I genuinely think there are better places to start than the Australian Olympic Committee.
Can we judge your tea selection? Yeah,
going to be placing blame any criticism being directed towards an athlete is unfair or untrue or undeserved. You back.
Can we tell? We can't read that tag.
Nope.
It looks like a generic white tag too. It doesn't even have a brand on it.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of tea has white tags over there? That's not that. How generic can your tea actually get over there? Is that like store brand?
She's in America.
Okay, what tea has white in America?
Start than the Australian Olympic Committee, because I actually believe that
that's right. Elijah Safer had to run to her country. She's not going home anymore.
Yeah, I strongly believe that people should stop punching Nazis again. But like, if you see Elijah Schaefer and you're in Australia, you should punch a Nazi.
Gun's
I'm just
husband
saying.
was in fact a judge, and she did in fact create her own governing body and then let herself win. That might have actually been better than the reality of what happened here, because, you know, at least that's some diabolical smartness that I can get behind. But that's not what we're dealing with. This might come as a shock to some of you, but breaking, as it is officially known, was actually officially accepted into the 2018 Youth Olympic Games back in December 2016. So this is not that super new phenomenon. I mean, it's new, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that new. This seems to have come about as the result of the unholy union between the International Olympics Committee, known as the IOC, and the World Dance Sport Federation, WDSF, a dancing organization with a strong emphasis on ballroom dancing.
That's how it
with a ton
works.
Of prior involvement in breaking.
That's how
Dance
it
sport
works.
generally is the competitive version of ballroom, and honestly, it's been like quite
Do you know that
challenging
there's
for me to verify
not
when
only the
breaking suddenly got
Paralympics, but
added to
there's
the
also
games.
a third Olympic event that
Seriously?
happens?
No, I
Yeah, so
didn't.
there's a third type of Olympics, and it's the
Okay.
qualifier Olympics, where they test out
Okay.
potential new sports.
Ah,
That might be in Charlie's video, actually.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Some have suggested that the WDSF saw breaking as a sneaky way to get into the Olympics in the first place, given that ballroom would just never qualify. Not to mention, in a 2023 press briefing, the IOC sports director, Kit McConnell, said that breaking fit very clearly with Paris's vision of a very youth-focused urban engagement. Whatever that means. I should also note that breaking won't be taking place at the 2028 Los
So the
Angeles Olympics,
tested
but
events
this was decided
organized
long
for Paris this year. Okay, it just 404'd me because I accidentally clicked something. I was trying to highlight and it 404'd me. So international sailing, and then international triathlon, paratriathlon, international mountain bike competition.
Okay.
Okay. For third party, that's by the Paris Olympic Committee, those three. Third party entities: French Junior Golf Championships, rowing under 19, open water swimming, the WSL Tahali Pro, Archery World Cup Stage 4, Canoe Kayak, Canoe Slalom World Cup.
Okay.
Okay, optional ones. I don't know what optional exactly means. Table tennis, handball, weightlifting, transition to tennis, from tennis to boxing, fencing, taekwondo, para-taekwondo, hockey. See some, but I've seen one where it's like really, really experimental stuff. That's even like that might be during the games too.
Before our friend Raygun stepped onto the dance floor. Much as it would have been hilarious if she had just single-handedly killed off the event. But you know, who's to say? Maybe it'll show up somewhere at some other Olympics. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I bet you anything it'll end up at the next Australian one. Like some super nerd...
Yeah, probably. Who gives a shit? It's funny that you say the qualifier Olympics, because this is one of the points that I like to bring up. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on here or not. I've watched the Olympics pretty much every year that I can remember, for as long as I can remember. The Olympic sports are chosen by the individual cities. It's got nothing to do with the performance at the last Olympics.
So like, the test event happens a year beforehand.
Yeah, like I don't understand why this narrative came out about breakdancing losing its place at the Olympics when it was never going to be at Los Angeles regardless. Can we stop, please? Like, this is just a disinformation narrative.
Revenge plot.
So like, okay, so here's one. Here's a sport climbing and surfing first appeared in 2020 Tokyo.
Sport like rock climbing.
Yeah, but
that's right. There was rock climbing in
it's
Tokyo,
like obviously a course, you know.
It was fucking cool as fuck. Have you seen any of the footage? It's awesome. It's really cool.
Two-step. All right, we're gonna go back to the front now.
Wow, your hips are really elastic.
Hi, I'm Renata Bliss, and I'm your freestyle dance teacher.
Yes.
Why is my country like this? Anyway, all of this to say that because breaking had previously been a local cultural phenomenon dancing expression thing with no centralized ruling body, suddenly there was a need to develop a scoring system and a qualification process to even get to the Olympics. And for you dirty little naysayers out there, even Gunn herself said in one of her interviews that there is no official scoring system, point system that goes along with breaking. So do with that what you will.
Bit of a fun fact for you. There are actually no points in breaking. If you want to see how the judges thought I compared to my opponents, you can actually see the comparison percentages across the 5 criteria on Olympics.com. All the results are there.
So this is the other thing.
What in Australia?
This is the other thing, right? If you look at the gold medal match, the silver medalist got 0 points. Like the fact that she got 0 points is nothing. And people are using, oh, she got 0 points. No, she got 0 points because the judges were looking for something. That's why I'm saying that if this was a protest to the centralization and normalization of a certain style of dance being the type of dancing that the Olympics is looking for, based as fuck. Like all joking aside, if that actually is what happened and she was literally protesting the decision to have a body say this is how breakdancing is, awesome. I hope that's what it is. I really hope that's what it is. Oh my god. Why does it always do this?
When it comes to all of this, given that Dance Sport Australia, which was founded in 1998 and is a member of the WDSF, is ballroom and Latin focused, and Ozbreak, or Ozbreaking, formerly called the Australian Breaking Association, was only founded in 2019, 3 years after the WDSF forced its way into the Olympics. And
I don't understand. What the fuck is the problem? I don't get it. What's the fucking problem?
the year after breaking took place at the 2018 Youth Games. So, there's that. From what I can tell, it was Dance
like this
Sport
is
Australia
just
who hosted
petty.
the qualifier that got Gunn into the Olympics in the first place.
Like this is literally just petty bullshit. Okay, they're a new organization. Who gives a shit? I don't understand why you care.
And I think this is also backed up by the fact that Dance Sport Australia put out a statement discussing shooting down some conspiracies and whatnot that had cropped up about this. So yeah, the whole thing.
Okay, my
is not
conclusion
super
on
clear.
what tea
At
she's
least not for now.
drinking, she either buys it from Etsy, from generic vendors, or it's biodegradable tea. A tea bag that's biodegradable. Either way, sounds pretty fucking woke and gay to me, Sydney.
Outsider. Anyway, funnily enough, Gunn actually wrote a research paper in 2023 where she herself critiqued the top-down decisions made by outside entities like the WDSF.
Look at this! Sydney doing journalism. Well done. Well fucking done.
Noting how it impacts breakers and their experience and understanding of their scene. Yes, she is in fact treating her experience in this movement as a thing to study, which is about as 2024 as it gets, but we'll come back to this. It sort of makes me think about those people who used to go off into the wilderness and then try to live with the gorillas and become one of the gorillas and be accepted by them, and then would come back and write about their findings. Except
first of all, that's way different. You're thinking about the guy who got eaten by bears, who was an idiot. And honestly, I watched this great psychoanalysis on that guy, right?
Okay.
The reason why I was obsessed with bears is because he not only was egotistical, but because he used to be an addict and they became his new addiction. The rush he would get from being confronted from the bears made him chase the dragon and put him in more progressively worse situations. Amazing. It was actually an addiction mentality that he had. And also, he did some stuff where he talked about like Freud. You know how the child progresses and that's like evolved since Freud, right?
Yes.
So like he introduced the term at the Freudian context and then said, I think this new updated thing is a little better. Right? But he's talking about how the guy who got eaten by the bear had a very childish nature.
Interesting.
And he constantly would say how he's saving the bears and all this stuff. He wasn't doing shit for the bears. Right? He had to see himself as he's saying I'm the only protector. I'm protecting the bears.
Yes.
In this case, I don't really know who benefits from
also-
knowing about gender studies and
He gets
breakdancing.
into how there was indications that he wanted to be inside a bear, because there's this weird poop video that he has where he's like rubbing the bear's poop, talking about how it's still warm and how it was just inside of the bear.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think a lot of modern academia could just be summarized with who asked for this? Not me.
True.
I can't even read. My point is
A lot of academia can be summed up to who asked for this, though. But it's those who asked for this that change things, isn't it? It's the people who think outside the box. Not saying that this is her. I'm just saying.
Australia didn't even really have some
Ignorant
Who was this? The guy who got eaten by the bear? Grizzly Man Diaries.
Along. And then a few years later,
Or the guy who
in
did the
2019,
analysis
when
of it.
Ozbreaking.
Let me find him. Because he also did a really good Columbine thing, and he was the one who was like, remember that it was supposed to be a bombing?
Yeah, okay.
He's a specific type of psychologist. Let me search my history, see if I can find it for you.
Meaning, the Olympic qualification process was not well established. So with this in mind,
No
how
shit.
did our mate Rachel even qualify? Well, simply, a qualifier was eventually organized called the Oceania Breaking Championships. The event
I'm so glad she brought this up, because this is the video I was going to play next. This is her qualifying match. This is the other thing. It is clearly what she does. Her dance style is clearly a style, because the person that she's against also looks fucking goofy and dumb. So it wouldn't have mattered whether Raygun got through or the other person. It would have been a dumb, goofy performance regardless, and it wouldn't have been as iconic. We wouldn't have gotten the shit that we got. She's a meme lord. It's great. We lost the succulent Chinese meal man, and we gained Rachel Gunn. How do people not comprehend this? She is the reincarnation of the Democracy Manifest man. She is Australia's meme now. She can't escape it.
had 15 female competitors, 13 Australians and 2 New Zealanders, and took place in Sydney. This is actually the very event that made me believe that nobody from my country can do this breaking thing at all, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to...
You see, anybody who looks further into it comes to the same fucking conclusion that I say.
Put some
She's
clips up
got
on
the
screen
same
and
conclusion.
you guys can judge for yourselves. It was here that Gunn went up
Look.
against another woman called Molly Chapman in the
Goofy.
finals, who you can see here battling in these clips. Gunn won with 1,000 points. Chapman lost with 750, whatever that means. I don't know how this is scored. Maybe it's just like how much you glaze over as you're watching it.
Here is the channel. So the @ is and psych. So @ ANDPSYCH. But he has a bunch of really, really good ones that I watched, and mostly I've put them on in the background. See, like, I don't remember most of these that it says I watched. But the Grizzly Man one, and then he also did an analysis of one of the Columbine moms, and his videos are like really good. See, it says I watched all of these. I definitely didn't. These auto played while I was sleeping. Most of these, they gotta, But like, you know how there's that whole thing where it's like the true crime analysis where they always have the body language experts and stuff, and they're really, really dumb.
Yeah.
Like he actually, at least in the Grizzly Man one, he really went into the psychology. Maybe he didn't do one for the Columbine mom. Am I crazy?
Maybe
This
maybe
is the
someone
Chris.
else.
Do you know
I
who
don't
this guy is? Chris Watts.
I've never seen this dude. No.
Chris Watts. This guy. He murdered
No
his
idea.
wife and kids, and then like shows up to try to
story.
help the cops with it.
Amazing. Yeah, that makes sense.
And his mannerisms during it are like crazy.
Mm.
It's a very interesting tape.
I don't know. Importantly, a bunch of international judges were flown in to weigh in on this qualifier. They were from countries like
I
Korea,
have to check who
Germany,
did the
US,
Columbine
New Zealand,
video.
and so on. So after securing the win, Gunn was through to the Olympics and ready for her debut. All of my slightly mean jokes aside.
So you're telling me that she successfully qualified through a panel of international judges and got this spot legitimately, and that all of this is outrage and horseshit, and that she's actually an icon, and I'm correct? Thanks, Sydney. I'm glad we agree.
And seriously, I think it's fair to say, and this is obviously just
Okay,
coming from
the
the
guy-
vantage point of a layman who
Why is there now 15 more minutes of this video? The video's done, Sydney. What are you doing?
The guy
video's
that
over.
I watched the Columbine video from, he has 2 videos, both from 10 months ago, One has 3.3 million views, and the other one is 351K.
The fuck? It's a psyop.
I think he must, but this might be his. Okay. So that's his second channel. So that must be videos that got banned or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But he has 2 channels on that, and it's the video about this Columbine shooter is Sue, my son shot up Columbine Klebold. And that one, it's not even a psychology video. It's more like analyzing all the evidence that she was a terrible parent.
A lot of these videos at this point. I don't think that Rachel Gunn is the country's best, no matter how much the AOC wants to tell us otherwise. She was simply...
Who the fuck are you? Are you breakdancing? Are you a breakdancing expert, Sydney? Who the fuck are you to say? Clearly, the international judges thought that she won the competition. She showed up. Nobody else did. She won. Who gives a fuck? This is pathetic nationalism. This is pathetic nationalism. Like, who cares? That's really, that's what I want to emphasize here. Who fucking gives a fuck? Really? Why does this matter? I can't wait for like 5 minutes more before I skip this video, because this is just going to be no longer research. It's just going to be her talking shit and just spouting nonsense. I guarantee it.
One of 15, only 15 candidates who somehow got selected for this random event that had been hand-fisted into the Paris Olympics so that the Paris organizers could feel cool and hip and urban, and the WDSF could maintain its relationship and future workings with the IOC. And I feel a little bad saying all of this, because I'm sure those of you who are involved in the breakdancing community, maybe you have a different viewpoint of this, but watching it as an Australian and as a layman, as a non-dance person, I'm just like, ugh, hi, call me Dream Crusher Sydney, because that's what I'm doing today. Maybe we should make a thing out of this. You guys can email me the phone numbers of your friends and family, and then I will call them and crush their dreams on your behalf. Hi, James. This is Sydney the Dream Crusher. Just wanted to phone and let you know that you won't be getting into medical school.
Awful.
Because Asian is considered white adjacent. Unlike professional athletes who train their entire lives for something like this, she almost sort of just like showed up and then plopped around for a little bit, and then eventually somehow won this almost randomly put together qualifier event.
Sydney. The Olympics are professional amateur sports, you fucking idiot. No, they don't.
Hey,
what are you talking about?
Let's go to Charlie's video.
The Olympics is a literal 4-year event for all the professional amateurs to congregate and represent their teams in a representation of soft power. It's a nationalist competition, all for politics. The athletes don't fucking matter. Nobody cares.
Let's go to Charlie's video.
Hold on.
So do with that information what you will. Probably the most interesting thing to me about all of this is that Gunn isn't just some weirdo who walked in off of the streets and randomly got sent to the Olympics. Contrary to popular belief, and honestly, I don't know if this makes this situation better or worse.
You know that zombie song that I said was shit and I didn't even like the band to begin with?
No.
There was that African horn band where I was talking about what is even is this drum that they're playing?
Yes.
With the beads. And then the song was like zombie, zombie, zombie.
I think I was making the list. I wasn't really listening.
I like it, bro. Been stuck in my head. Is the point? Cannot get it out of there.
A bunch of
also at the
competitions,
same
and
time,
has been very highly
there's this
rated
Always
in the
Sunny gag. Praying, and Mac is like really Christian, but he's also like a bad Christian. That's like the joke. But while he's praying, Charlie's doing like voodoo noises, like stereotypical voodoo noises. And Mac's like, "Can you stop me?" He's like, "I just want to make sure it's more powerful. We appeal to the most gods, you know." So I'm thinking of Charlie doing that along with this. Here, chat. This is the song that's been stuck in my head.
Australian breaking community. According to her page on the Olympics website, Gunn was named the top-ranked B-girl, I guess that means breaker girl, breaking girl, something to that effect, by Ausbreak, formerly known as the Australian Breaking Association, in 2020 and 2020.
It's just so dumb. It's everything around the Olympics is so fucking stupid. Like, who cares? Just watch the fucking sports. Watch the people dance for you in their little Greek amphitheater and shut the fuck up. Who cares? Every single person who's complaining about this could not argue about it for more than 5 minutes. It's all emotion because it looked goofy and she's Australian and Australians are pathetic little sensitive pussies who get mad because she was representing the country. Who cares? Who cares?
She also represented Australia at the WBSF World Championship breaking in Paris, France in 2021 and in Seoul, South Korea in 2022. She's also competed in a bunch of other tournaments and events, but she also...
So you're telling me she's experienced in the sport, is
Look,
what you're
she's got
telling me.
that dumb
and that...
suit on again.
I know, and she didn't have to wear it. Icon.
Competed in Madrid in 2023. Although at the World Championships event in 2021, she placed 42nd of 78. And at an event in 2022, she placed 73 out of 114. I couldn't be bothered finding the last one from Madrid, but I'm sure it was similarly middle of the road. I actually got really curious here and looked up the two ladies who won the events in 2021 and 2022. And, well, I mean, you know, I think it kind of speaks for itself when you put all of this side by side, which I hope.
Keep your fucking my country's name out your fucking mouth.
Sydney, editing Sydney, you better do it right now. Yes, past me, editing Sydney here. I am adding the clips in as you so desire. It's fine. I'm on top of it.
Weird.
Like, I'm no expert, but as a layman, I know who I'm putting my money on. Anyway, the point is, Gunn actually has a bunch of experience when it comes to breakdancing. In interviews, she even said that after meeting her now husband in 2008, he introduced her to the subculture. Speaking of her husband, let me show you his breakdancing too. It's a real treat. Copyrighted music, the music is copyrighted. I don't want to get a strike. I don't want YouTube to yell at me. Look at my dancing. The man is doing a dance, and this music is copyrighted, but not if I tell you that. So here at this juncture, I'm sure some of you are thinking, okay,
I love that.
She did her best. She went to the Olympics and she tried really hard.
Wouldn't it be great if Sydney wasn't a piece of shit?
I know. She is a journalist. We could maybe poach her from a shitty right-wing grift.
We'd have to pay her.
Yeah, that's the only problem. You'd have to break the simulation. You'd have to figure out how to. You would think being essayed by Elijah Schaefer would change your mind, wouldn't you? I don't know.
That's the sweet release of death. Yeah, evisceration by 1,000 branches of a mighty oak.
Like, how many times does right-wing grifters, like, how many
need to get
instances
essayed before they stop?
Well, no, not even that. How many instances of right-wing grifters have been accused of SA?
I will eat
probably
your
quite
leftist
a few.
ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready.
Maybe crazy theory here. Maybe
I'd rather
they're
be a
not
social
very
justice warrior
pro-women.
than a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah, maybe.
So questionable. And I actually think I have the answer, or at least a partial
Hi,
answer.
do you
want
wanna know how to fix
Having
this?
Now listened to a bunch of
Stop.
interviews with this woman, I think what's happened is that she has fully academiaed breakdancing.
Music starts.
She's gonna kill you for saying that. She's gonna personally hunt you down.
Yeah. And then you can go into
Boom, bam, every time.
Yes, that's hip hop.
Your
This
hands
is
are
the
always
great.
like
This is the perfect insert because no, you didn't even get to the point where she said that's what makes it hip hop. How do you do the insert joke wrong with an iconic clip like that? Now I need to go show people the clip because you fucked it up.
Oh my god.
It is admittedly a little challenging for me to articulate, but just bear with me. The best way that I can describe this is from the perspective of playing piano, given that I've played piano my whole life and consider myself reasonably musical, and I have never done dance and am not good at dancing at all. Some people are without a doubt drawn to piano because they have natural skill, because the instrument makes sense to them on some level that it doesn't make sense to other people. And so even in their unrefined, untrained state, they're still really good at it in a way, once again, that other people are not. There's this other group of people who actually crop up quite a lot when it comes to this instrument, who just don't have that. and are not that. And their way of learning the instrument comes down to analyzing it and assessing it and getting everything 100% of the time in this robotic, hyper-trained, unnatural kind of way. And don't get me wrong, you can be the latter and still be quite skilled and sometimes even more technically skilled than the first kind of person, the natural inclination kind of person. But sometimes that lack of inherent skill, and I am willing to bet that this applies way more to dancing than it does to piano playing.
Is she just talking about how academic experts are not actually experts? Like they're academically experts, but in practicality they couldn't apply it? Is that what she's getting to with this long-winded explanation? Because we know. Because hold on, we have a soundbite for this.
I know more than you.
All right, time for Charlie.
Or hit and The more relaxed you are, that's what makes it hip hop. This is the first thing I want to say to you. You want to do hip hop? You got to stand like this. In a hip hop head, we have this. Boom, bam, every time, or Your hands are always like this. Start out just hitting it, straight. I went to this club, right? And they had no baggy pants and no sneakers. That was wild. I didn't know what to think about that. I took some of this from an African piece. In the African piece, it was like this.
Oh my God.
But in hip hop, it's like this.
Oh my God.
I'm into points a lot, but they're not your average points. Goes out. Hip hop is an attitude. It's right here. It's how you feel. It's a style. So it can go out. Hit, flex foot, bent back. It's all in your attitude. It's right here in your faces and how you dress. It's the way you look. I want to tell you another thing that makes hip hop hip hop.
This is amazing.
I do this at the end of class, every class. I hit here, and I hit here, hit here. Sometimes I vary it. I'll give them a ba. They look at me like I'm crazy, but then they know this right here is me. And then I give them peace. I'm out.
That's what makes it hip hop.
Breakdancing is at the Olympics this year for the first time ever. And unfortunately, as they say, the star that burns brightest burns out quickest. It might also be the last time it's at the Olympics. Apparently, it's been confirmed that breaking won't be returning to the Olympics in 2028. And if this truly is its only time at the Olympics, what a way of going out. This is the swan song you could only dream of. There's an Australian breakdancer named...
See what I mean? Everybody is missing the fact that it's got nothing to do with her, that it's the only time. Like, they're making it out like it's the only time because of her.
Let him talk.
Raygun, who has gone super viral. Even my dad was talking to me about her because her routine is something the likes of which human eyes weren't made to bear witness to. This is art that's so beautiful, I don't think the Lord was ready for our peepers to be able to process it. Now, Raygun's name is Rachel Gunn, and she earned her spot to compete at the Olympics this year, and she definitely did leave a lasting impression. If you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know I actually have a history of breakdancing. I actually studied to be a b-boy for quite a while in high school because I was under the impression that if I could be a good breakdancer, I could get laid. So I used to practice breakdancing for hours on end, and I even had my dad film me doing a headspin one time so I could send it to a girl so she'd think I was cool. So when my dad caught wind of this story, he sent it to me like, "Hey, bud, you remember breakdancing? Well, it's at the Olympics. Look at this." And he sent me the Raygun story. So Raygun is an Australian B-girl who performed a routine that is fascinating, to say the least. I would love to show you some footage of this, but the Olympics will not let me. This shit would get struck down so quick. If I even thought about including a video clip of her routine here, my computer would probably explode. They keep this footage on lockdown harder than Fort fucking Knox. So instead, I'm going to show you some pictures, and I'll do some of the moves, because for the first time in history, I feel like I can perform at an Olympic level when it comes to Raygun's routine.
I'm so excited.
Now, viewers have been comparing this to like a Napoleon Dynamite routine, but not nearly as inspired, and apparently she had the lowest...
Charlie, I disagree. It was incredibly inspired. Look at all the inspiration from Australia she took. Huh?
Napoleon Dynamite's dance was inspired too.
Possible score, which was 0. I didn't watch this live, and I can only find a couple of re-uploads that haven't been taken down yet, so I can't see what...
Again, the scoring of 0 is irrelevant.
Yeah, he didn't. He
to the
didn't. He didn't
performance.
fucking research this. He's just making
No,
a
I know.
video.
I know.
He needs to make a daily video.
I know, but I'm just really reinforcing here because this was one of the main points against her is that she got 0 points. So did the silver medalist in the gold medal competition. Does that make them shit? Like, come on. It's so easy to discern.
The scoring was, but according to the articles, she didn't record a single point from any of the judges. So I'll demonstrate some of the moves here to the best of my ability and try and capture the magic. So her signature move, the one that you're seeing everywhere, was her kangaroo pose. So what happened is she started with like, you know, top rocking, like getting set, and then she did this at her opponent. So I've actually been practicing the routine for about an hour now, and I think I've got it down comfortably. Like, I think I've got it down pretty well, because these moves aren't foreign to me. These aren't new. I'm familiar with a lot of these maneuvers because the way she moves around the breakdancing competition here is the same way I move around when I am dangerously drunk, just stumbling around like and crawling on the floor. So I'm going to do my best here. There is one move I won't be able to emulate because she does do a power move, which is a headstand. And I'm too old to be doing that. I'd probably snap my fucking neck. So time to turbocharge with some goof.
Dude, she's 34. She's like...
Wow, she looked old for 34, considering that's how old I am.
Yeah.
Juice.
Or 36 maybe. One of the
Okay.
two. One of the two.
And get after it. Oh, Goof Juice is available. Gamersubs.gg/moist. Go ahead and pick that up. It's the best flavor of any beverage ever.
God, I hope we get.
I don't want to destroy everything in my room.
Gamer
So one of
subs.
the big moves that
you
you'll
know,
see is after doing
I
her
hope we get that sponsorship. You know, because
Yeah.
I'd love,
You know-
I'd love to be sponsored by Gamer Subs.
That's true. They could sponsor us, and if any pre-workout companies want to sponsor us as well, that could also be worked out because gym. Also, I think I'm just going to do the gym news thing because Tanya's being lame.
Especially if it makes me hard. The thing is, if you can write a gym news thing and she just records it, fine.
She's not going to. She's not going to.
She has no
She
passion.
just
That's
won't.
the thing. Tell her she has no passion, and she's a failure of journalism. Nag her.
I have been.
Can't really do the 6-step very fluidly anymore.
We can
But after
weaponize
doing this,
that
she's
to
here
go
and
tell
she
her.
goes,
What?
Everyone go to Tanya's post and say "Muscle Mommy News" when. Go hit her with some of those.
This. Can you see me? All right. She does.
We'll organize it through the Discord. Harassment.
Across the floor. She skates around like this for a little bit. I changed camera angles so you don't miss any of the action. So keep in mind, she's not on carpet, so she is actually sliding while doing this and like pushing off. So she's getting some like propulsion, but she finishes here, and then it's here, and then she cranks back, then here again, then here, and then it's this after like a pseudo dozy do or like a JoJo Siwa dance move where she hits that, she drops, comes here, pushes off with this leg going across, collecting, and then she's going back down like this, and she starts scooting across the ground like that. I'm trying not to blow out my knee, so I look like a crab, but hers is just on her knees like that. And then from here, it goes big spin, huge spin. She's back here, and then it's the headstand. Fuck it, I'll try it. Let's see if I can remember how to do it. With some of that, just realized I was facing the wrong way for the headstand, and I want this as true to the routine as possible. So she's here, and then it's.
This is content gold.
Hits one of those.
If you just give us the link, we'll throw it in our profile. I don't know what the link is.
I'll link. Do we want to link the Discord to the Twitch?
Why not?
Yeah. I guess we'll have moderation. Sure.
And I'm not making the sprinkler part up. She does drop a cold sprinkler in the middle of her routine here for round one. I can't find her whole routine. The director's cut has been taken offline, so I don't know how it all connects, but she comes back in rhythm, then she comes forward, doing this, touches her toes, pushes back, rolls over, and then hits this pose.
Yes.
Like this.
The
And then from here,
best part.
She does this, like SpongeBob with photosynthesis, does the other side, and then she does this. More or less. That one felt silky smooth. I only heard a few cracks and pops throughout my body. Some of her other big moves include, she does like a couple of flares, which I don't think I can do anymore. That's like this, and then turning your legs in the air. She does like 3 of those, and then she ends up doing like another weird thing where she catches her leg like this and does this. So she goes around the ring for a minute like this. And from this maneuver, she transitions out of it by landing here and going. And then she catches like this and then goes. And then pops herself back out.
The shark,
And,
baby.
you know, you get the idea. You get the idea. It's a breaking performance for the ages. I'm getting winded.
See,
Holy
even Charlie agrees. Iconic. That's the reason the title is the way that the title is. Whether you like it or not, icon. You can't argue with me.
It's been a while since my body's moved in such unnatural gyrations.
Absolutely amazing. All right, now we have a Brett Cooper one, which
I don't even
we
know
won't stay
how
on
to-
because it's going to be dog shit. But I just want to see her initial take on it, and then we'll move on.
intro this episode, but we just have to talk about Olympic breakdancing, specifically the Australian breakdancer in the Olympics. It is just too good. The story is wild. I mean, I would have killed to have a show over the weekend to cover this because the memes and the lore behind all of this has just been like internet sublime. See, what we thought was just an embarrassing breakdancing performance for Australia is actually the perfect example of how woke white women and their PhDs ruin everything. And one might even say that Rachel Gunn, aka Raygun, was an Olympics DEI hire. Before we dive into this though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the comment section channel if you've not already.
Are we
and
done?
Of course, hit that notification bell so you
Yep, we're done. She's gonna add absolutely zero things of value to this discussion. All right, let's go to another another fascist.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Are you aware of a CIA psychological profile about you, sir? Would you be interested in hearing what the CIA had to say? This secret study portrays as a brilliant but dangerous megalomaniac who is likely to pursue his own aims in disregard of U.S. interests. He's an uncertain ally. Shall I go on, or would you prefer that I stop, sir?